In the ancient world, entering a dictator's private chambers armed was considered entirely impossible. The security checks were brutal, invasive, and absolute. Every guard knew exactly where a warrior carried his blade, on the left hip, ready for a right-handed draw. But what happens when an empire is blinded by its own assumptions? What happens when a man intentionally deforms his own combat style to exploit a fatal flaw in imperial security? This isn't a modern espionage thriller. This is a 3,000-year-old covert operation buried deep within the biblical book of Judges. It's the story of an underworld resistance leader. He walked into a heavily fortified palace completely alone, locked the doors from the inside, and delivered a secret message that ended an 18-year occupation in less than 60 seconds. Tonight, we unmask Ehud, the left-handed assassin of Benjamin. We will deconstruct the psychological warfare, the custom-engineered weapon design, and the ultimate bathroom escape room. To understand the sheer desperation of this mission, we have to look at the geopolitical reality of the 12th century BC. Israel was completely broken. Decades of internal corruption had left them vulnerable, and King Eglon of Moab capitalized on it. Eglon formed a terrifying tri-alliance with the Ammonites and the Amalekites. They smashed through Israel's defenses, crossed the Jordan, and set up an aggressive military headquarters directly in the city of Palms, Jericho. For 18 long years, Israel was forced to pay a crushing tribute. This wasn't just tax, it was a ritual humiliation. Every year, the finest crops and gold were stripped from starving citizens. And the records note a fascinating detail about King Eglon. He was a very fat man. In a time of famine, his extreme weight was a physical manifestation of his greed. He was literally consuming a nation's wealth. Enter Ehud. He was chosen to lead the delegation to deliver the annual tribute. But Ehud wasn't a politician. He was a trained operative from the tribe of Benjamin. The Bible highlights a critical detail. Ehud was bound in his right hand. In elite military units, this often meant an operative intentionally trained to be left-handed to throw off right-handed opponents. Ehud engineered a weapon specifically for this security gap. He forged a double-edged short sword precisely 18 inches long. Crucially, it had no hilt or crossguard. It was perfectly flat, designed to slide seamlessly against the flesh. He strapped this lethal blade to his right thigh, hidden entirely beneath his long, flowing diplomatic robes. When he passed through Moabite security, the guards did what they always did. They checked his left side, felt nothing, and cleared him for entry. They were blinded by the standard protocol. Ehud delivers the tribute and leaves the city with his diplomatic convoy. But this was all a setup to establish his cover as a peaceful servant. Once they reach the stone idols near Gilgal, he turns back. Alone. Ehud walks back up to King Eglon, who is now resting in his private, breeze-cooled roof chamber. Ehud looks the king dead in the eye and whispers, "I have a secret message for you, O king." Those 8 words were a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Dictators are inherently paranoid, yet hopelessly addicted to secret intelligence. Eglon couldn't resist. He commands his guards to leave. As Eglon stands up out of respect for a message from a deity, Ehud takes one step forward. In a fraction of a second, his left hand flashes to his right thigh, drawing the hiltless blade. Ehud plunges the entire 18-inch sword into Eglon's belly. Because the weapon had no crossguard, and the king was of such immense size, the fat completely closed over the blade. Ehud couldn't even retrieve it. The king was dead instantly. Ehud systematically locks the doors from the inside and escapes unnoticed. Minutes later, the royal guards return but find the doors locked and smell a foul odor. They whisper, "Surely he is relieving himself." Out of pure embarrassment and imperial etiquette, they wait. They wait for hours until they are physically sick with anxiety. Ehud is already miles away. The moment Ehud reached the hill country, he blew the trumpet. The resistance was fully awakened. With their leadership paralyzed, the Moabite army inside Israel panicked. The hunt was on. Ehud and his men seized the fords of the Jordan River, cutting off any escape routes. That day, Israel slaughtered 10,000 of Moab's elite strongest warriors. Not a single one escaped. The land had peace for 80 years, the longest period of rest recorded in Judges, all because one man looked at a broken system and weaponized his